What up, yo?
A ghost.
A gaze.
What up, yo? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a late and gay power up podcast. Gotta love last minute requests from work, even though you've already felt like you've gone ham through the entire day, but that's all right. It's the name of the game, you know? You know? So apologies if I am tired. It's just whooping me. Let me adjust my volume here. But yeah, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Getting closer to that weekend. Looking forward to it. Going to be trying to meet some people coming up. It'll be fun, be exciting, adventurous. Got some stuff to talk about. Obviously, everyone is talking about The Acolyte. Apparently, first 2 episodes is hot garbage. A lot of people already mocking it. Apparently, you can have fire in space, even though fire, you literally need oxygen. Now, to be fair, the old Star Wars definitely had like explosions and stuff like that. So it's sci-fi, understandable. But still, that's kind of like, that was more sparks and stuff as opposed to like actual burning fire. Even in the burning fire, when Luke is burning Vader at Return of the Jedi, I mean, he's on a planet. It's not like he cremated him floating in space. But that'll be the main topic of discussion. We also have apparently Sony on the old PlayStation 5 backstepping on apparently their claim to advertise that the PS5 can do 8K. I didn't even know 8K was a thing now. Like, and is it really necessary? Do we really need 8K? Like, how damn sharp do you need to have it? I think we're fine the way we are. I'd even argue that like 1080p is fine, but whatever. And then I found some other interesting articles. Apparently, there's a Like a Dragon live action series got announced by Amazon. So, it's not Netflix, but still possibly a stamp of doom. And a very interesting thing that I'd found about apparently Adobe, specifically with Photoshop's in their terms of service, gives Adobe access to user projects for content moderation. Now, Adobe has become very, very gay ever since they took away the feature of the buy and cry, as I would like to say. You buy it once, you cry because it's retardedly expensive, but then you own it forever. And of course, they moved away with now the Creative Cloud and all that stuff. Sadly, I use Adobe for work. I'd love to try to dabble with DaVinci because it's free, and it's, from what I've used a little bit of it, could be just, if not better, than Adobe. And that's also a buy once, that's it sort of thing too. So let's hop into it. But before we do, make sure to smash. I actually have probably should do this. I should probably be more, cool and have like banners and stuff. So you should smash the like and follow button over on Rumble, because that's where we're at, and ring that bell to get notifications. We're also on here. That would be YouTube. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. And we're also on X. And then whenever I do game streaming, I also try to stream on Kick and gay old Twitch. So you can follow me there. And then, of course, any other social medias you can find in the descriptions of the shows and the game shows on YouTube and Rumble. And on X, you can find the Lincoln, not like Lincoln as in, ugly looking dude that liked to wrestle and became the president. Not that. Link in, well, wait a minute. Linktree. I'm saying LinkedIn as in like the job area, which I guess I technically do have a profile on there, but yeah. The Linktree, where you can find the links to the other social media. And of course, if anybody wants to go beyond just helping push the algorithm, you can always check out the membership and subscription tiers to help support the channel, help it grow. I do enjoy making content and gaming and stuff, and Be fun to grow the channel. We are slowly but surely getting there. I'm just thankful that you guys are choosing the time to hang out with me, because out of all the people you could hang out with, you decided to come here. Mr. Anonymous already says Star Wars fell off. Oh, absolutely. I'm not even a hardcore Star Wars fan. I've seen the OGs, the prequels, uh, uh, see, this is how much I don't give a shit about the new ones, because I can't even remember the titles. What is it? The last, or the Force Awakens, the first two, and then I just skipped out on the last one because everyone told me on how retarded it was with like Palpatine and Rey taking the name Skywalker even though she's a Palpatine or something like that. What is it? The Force Awakens. Isn't there like another Force one? Star Wars. Look at me having to look up the movies. That's how much of an impact they made on my life. Films. Boom. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. See, because I kept wanting to say Return of the Jedi, I know that wasn't true, because Return of the Jedi is like good. Last of the Jedi is not. And then I knew Rise of Skywalker. All right. There we go. Fun. So over here on Niche Gamer, they're reporting that Photoshop Terms of Service grants Adobe access to use projects for, or to access to user projects for content moderation. Dear Lord, this is how bad everything is getting, folks. This is how bad it's getting. It's actually fulfilling scripture. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but it is, because we all know at the end times, like you're going to be all under one currency. It's either you accept the mark of the beast or you don't, or you die. You get deleted. But we're getting there. And this is part of it now, because now they're weaseling in, apparently, in the terms of service, that you can agree that they can look at the stuff that you're making. It's not no one's damn business. Oh my gosh. Photoshop's newest terms of service has users agree to allow Adobe access to their active projects for the purpose of, quote, content moderation and other various reasons. And I'm sure they made an announcement that, like, hey, we're updating our services and this is going to be one of the main ones. I'm sure they announced it, because they would probably just say, well, it's in there. Why didn't you read it? And then you can say, why don't you let me buy it once and then go fuck yourself, sort of thing. This has caused concerns among professionals, as it means Adobe would have access to projects under NDA, such as logos for unannounced games or other media projects. I mean, if they're the AAA companies, like, screw them. I think that'd be funny. Sam Santala, the founder of Songhorn Studios, noted the language of the terms on Twitter, calling out the company's overreach. So there's Sam I Am. Sam, whoops, I almost wanted to say Sam I Am reading this right. So am I reading this right, Adobe Photoshop? I can't use Photoshop unless I'm okay with you having full access to anything I create with it, including NDA work. Is that showing up when I click that on your guys' end? No, it is not. Oh, it just jumps to his tweets. Let's see here. But we have this. So right there, section 2.2 and 4.1. And then and then pretty much the definition of what 2.2 means, and then your content. And yeah, sounds like an overreach to me. So tech companies are increasingly eager to supervise and spy on their users. Recently, Microsoft announced an AI-powered product called Recall, and Recall scans the screen of users, allowing them to search their past activity in common terms. Whoa, I didn't hear that one. I mean, I knew Microsoft is hot garbage, but what is it, like Frylock said, we fucking need it. Thought you said TV was bad for us. Yeah, but we fucking need it. Recall scans the screens of users. Don't know how you can get out of that. All the big corps are trying. Well, this is true. I mean, honestly, this come on. Like this has been going on for a long time. It's just we're allowing more and more of it to happen. So the user agreement also leaves open the possibility to train AI using user generated content, saying they can use the content they retrieve to, quote, improve our services and software, end quote. Wow, so vague. I mean, this is exactly the same thing like what they're doing with video games in terms of trying to make everybody go digital so that you don't actually own it. And then when they find out when they possibly could hear about you and look into your account and then see what you say on social media and stuff. And if they don't line, and if your ideology doesn't line up with theirs, they can just make up some bullshit reason and pull the plug. They're doing this with video games, the banks and stuff. This is starting to happen more and more, folks. It's going to get even worse. Like the Weird Al CD. Very good CD, by the way. I like Weird Al. Rather short article, but that is alarming. Ooh, hello. Recall. Now I'm curious what recall is. This was of May 21. So not too long ago. So it remembers everything you see and do. AI power that remembers anything. The point of recall is to allow users to search things they remember seeing or working on without remembering the exact name or file. In the example from Windows latest, users can search up something like chart with purple text, and recall can search through everything you've worked on for a chart with purple text. It's an abstract type of search, hasn't really been seen before. Luckily, or unluckily, if you actually want this, recall is only available for systems with Snapdragon processor. Woo, I'm safe. As typical AMD and Intel CPUs can't achieve the work or the required TOPS, trillions of operations per second, to work well with Recon. We all learned what happened with Arnold in Total Recall. We don't want the same thing. Users are concerned about possible privacy concerns, and while Recall might be a powerful tool in a business settings, its potential to record and remember what users have looked at can't be overstated. Microsoft is no stranger to privacy concerns. Back when the Xbox Kinect was announced, many users were wary of its possible privacy concerns. Well, there you go. See, this is where I feel like we just need to start spamming the crap out of it, and just start looking up like the weirdest shit just to scare the crap out of the people who's like watching it. Like look up like the most asinine like type of pornography or something, some weird ass fetishes. Just be like, fuck you. Here, you want to look at what I'm looking at? Here. 'Cause chances are they're the ones actually looking at it. Obviously, you don't want to like toe the line and be like go into that dark web because then you're fucked. Well, that's scary and alarming. So now Adobe's going that route as well. Let's take a look at this Like a Dragon live action series announced by Amazon. You think, let's see, what is this? Japan, right? Isn't this like the Yakuza based game? So I'm thinking black dude, really buff, gonna be the main character. Just like in Assassin's Creed. Amazon Prime Video has announced a new Like a Dragon live action TV series based on Sega's popular game franchise of the same name. Simply titled Like a Dragon Yakuza, the new series will include 6 episodes and stars Ryoma Takeuchi as series protagonist Kazuma Kiryu. Oh, okay, that's good. Kind of cute. What's this guy look like? It is Amazon, so I'm thinking Netflix. All right, so apparently this is what the guy looks like. I mean, I'm hoping he'll get buff. Looks rather thin to me compared to the main character. I don't know how like defined this guy is, but he still looks a little on the thin side. Maybe he'll bulk up, you know. The series will run for 6 episodes. Mashaharu Take, best known for drama series The Naked Director. Oh no, that's right. I read that right. The Naked Okay, that threw me off. I chuckled. Is directing. That's a weird sentence. The Naked Director is directing. Did we mention that he's also directing? By the way, he is directing. Wow. Well, that was a very short article too. These are live reads, by the way. Like I just find stuff that's interesting, maybe very briefly skim through it, but not really maintain any of the detail and get like live reactions, live reads. That threw me off. That's funny. Well, okay, that's it. There's all that article is too. It's a good thing I picked out a couple. Okay. Let's see what the Sony removing the 8K claim on the PS5 boxes, because apparently someone pointed that out. So this comes from the Video Game Chronicle. Sony has removed the 8K claim for PlayStation 5 boxes. The company has updated its packaging to reflect a lack of support for the resolution. So as you can see in this picture right there, got that sweet 8K. Because that's everything that I'm rocking over here. Not even remotely close. So it's the Sony Interactive Entertainment has quietly updated its PlayStation 5 packaging to remove mention of 8K support. It's unclear precisely when the new packaging was rolled out, but the company launched the PS5 Slim model last November with 8K still emblazoned on the product's box, pictured above, like I showed. While retailers like Amazon and Walmart are still listing PS5 consoles with the old packaging, none of the various PS5 boxes pictured on Sony's PlayStation Direct store still carry the 8K claim. That's very interesting because if they're not updating, are still listing PS5 consoles with the old packaging. Possible lawsuit of false advertisement. I don't know how far those go, but like, yeah, if they're actually not updating the descriptions to say that it's not 8K anymore, and they're still like even using pictures, just pictures like this, potential problem. Sony started branding TVs that support 8K and 120 frames per second as PS5 ready as early as July 2020. Wait, so that stuff was like, this is how like, okay, I know some tech stuff. I'm not super following all this stuff. And again, do we really need 8K? Like, why do we need it? Oh my gosh. Like, we should just stop. And PS5 is compatible with 8K displays at launch. And after a future system software update, we'll be able to output resolutions up to 8K when content is available with supported software, Sony said prior to the console's launch in 2020. PS5 officially received its first ever 80K. I keep wanting to say 80K. That'd be nice to have, by the way. 8K, 60 frames per second. I'm actually reading out the anagram. 60 FPS game. The Tourist in October 2021, but Sony never activated 8K output on the console with a system update as originally planned. The Tourist, like, did anyone actually play that just to say, "Ooh, oh, it's literally this picture." Wow. Is that like the first? It is. It literally says right here, first ever 8K 60 frames per second game, and it's this. Wow, what a waste of time. It's literally Legos. What a way to show the technology. I mean, people would be like, "Oh, can you imagine what like Resident Evil 4 remake looks like or, any of those type of games?" And then it's like, "All right, we got the first 8K video game coming out here." And everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to look so sharp." And then it's just like, "Boom, here you go." And you're just like, "Damn. Well, that's that." Oh, I did see this one. I already talked about the Xbox updating its game box art. Remedy looking to set to reveal Alan Wake's 2's Night Spring DLC. Why would you play the DLC when a lot of people probably didn't even play 1 because apparently it was hot garbage? I want to see this though. We cannot get away with Naughty Dogs. Ugh. And The Last of Us. Like, I've been talking about Neil Druckmann for a while because like he all started with that interview and then he was misquoted and then they retracted it and then he's like, "Oh, I'm still making all these games and it's going to revolutionize, the gaming stuff." And he's like, "Well, I really didn't say that, even though I was kind of implying it." So, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered on PC has been ready for at least 7 months, it claimed. They were like, they said, "We got to go through this again. We already defeminized a lot of the women. Like, we got to go more, I say." But it's the PC, though. Possibly could have ports. Why did I say ports? A supposed reliable insider, this is also from Video Game Chronicle, says development on the PC port is well and truly complete. I need to start like putting some whiskey bottles like behind me or something that like that, so that when I can't read anything, I can like at least have an excuse and be like, "Oh, I was, having a sip here and there." I have nothing. I have no excuse. I just can't read. So apparently it's been sitting fully developed for more than half a year, it's claimed. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Man, they are trying to find the right time to release this because they're like, "Dear Lord, please let us make something from this." Because we'll hype up the fact that we sold a bunch of copies during release day and pre-orders and stuff, but the amount of returns for this game just shattered their hopes and dreams. Oh my goodness. So, according to this supposed insiders, sources, development on the PC version started at least as far back as 2021. 3 years. Perfect. What's more, and this is the most important piece of information in this article, we believe that the game's development is well and truly completed, dating back to at least November of 2023. They added, speculating as to why the PC port wasn't released alongside the PS5 version and still yet to appear. Bilbo Kun. Bilbo Kun. Kun wonders if the game is being held back to release alongside the second season of The Last of Us TV show, which is scheduled for 2025. Probably because, you know, was there really that big of an explosion when they did the remastered of The Last of Us Part 1? Well, wait a minute. There was The Last of Us Part 1, then wasn't there a remastered, and then wasn't there, like, another one? And that's where people got mad because it's like, "Wow, you made the one chick from The Last of Us Part 1, like, more and more ugly and defeminized her because you're a bunch of beta bitches." The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered was released on PS5 in January and enjoyed at Metacritic score of 90. Wait a minute. So, they already did a master. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I don't give a shit about this game. It's because how many fucking versions of it are you going to make sitting at the score of 90? I wonder what did they just buy it and then return it? Metascore apparently has a universal acclaim. Oh, dear Lord. Dude, ah, here, I'll pull this up. You know what? We'll look at the scores right now. Let's look at it. Here, check this out. This will be fun. Boop, boop, boop. Share. All right. So notice a pattern here. We'll just pause that. All right. So here you go. Everyone busted a nut because, oh my gosh, you did so good. The graphics and gameplay are absolutely great, but the story seemed to be pushed in some very controversial directions for no reason at all, says this person. He gave it a 7. Wait, what? Latest critic reviews. Who are these people? Look at this. Dude, recently, apparently to be determined. Nothing in the remaster is completely essential except Naughty Dog's work itself, which seems to not have aged one bit. Recommended. You've been waiting to play The Last of Us Part 2. Remaster is the perfect opportunity to experience this game at best. The best way to experience this game is to not play it because it's garbage. No, we were not waiting for the remaster of The Last of Us Part 2. Now less than 4 years old, but this new version adds so much to the original that is by far yeah, whatever. Let's actually take a look at the people who like actual people. 7, 0. Wait a minute. Or is this user score? Okay, this is a user score. So this guy gave it a 7 just because, see, not bashing this guy. Graphics and gameplay. This should not be in a category anymore. If the graphics aren't good nowadays, you're doing something very wrong and should probably do something else. Start roofing houses because it's not working out. So that guy complained that the story is garbage. Okay, this guy is saying masterpiece. Masterpiece, dude. Such an overused word. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for this new PS5 game. I have never seen a game like this in my entire life. Wow, you must be very limited or you're being sarcastic. Well, you rated it 0 out of 10. 22 out of 10. 20. Okay, he is being sarcastic. 22 out of 10. Story 22 out of 10. Gameplay, it's he can't even leave a rating because it's so amazing. Cannot wait for the sequel to The Last of Us Part 2. Dude, love it. Very bad. The story and performances were different from the original show. Very bad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. These are the latest user reviews, by the way. I must be one of those Last of Us fans. Cannot praise this game enough, especially part 2. Wow, what an amazing experience. My experience was halfway through, I was like, dear God, let this game be done. I put too much time into this. Please, Lord, let me just get through this as quick as possible. This is a game that I played on my PS4 many times and also many times on my PS5 now. I love the story. I love the depths of darkness Ellie went through. She was a selfish bitch. All the pain, the angst, and the gameplay is so man, you can actually like literally probably jacking with one hand and typing in the other. Naughty Dog's truest, greatest work. The story is amazing, although I take one point down because I don't think it was a bit all over the place, and the flashbacks were the pain. The flashbacks were the best part because it was actually, I believe it was actually written by someone who like helped write the first one, and it had none of the woke garbage. As I said about the PS4 version, graphically stunning and mechanically awesome. Dude, the mechanics in the game are nothing impressive. For heaven's sakes, it is okay at best. Maybe even good, but dear Lord, they did not revolutionize anything. But you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it is still a piece of shit. Re-releasing, and there you go. 0, 5, Incredible game. Okay. 10, 10, 0, 1, 3, 10, 10, 0, 8, 10, 1, 0. I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a pattern. And remember when they got all butthurt when the leaks came out and they were like, "Oh, it just got review bombed and stuff." So then they backlashed by bitching about how Ghost of Tsushima during like one of the announcements or like performance that one white guy was playing that Japanese instrument who was taught under the master of that instrument, by the way. Oh, this is amazing. Amazing. Anyway, let's see. Let's pull a little sidetracked, but let's go and this is my favorite part too. Remember that dude, the drug house, them making out and all that stuff, like Democrat 70s PSA announcement to the T. That's immediately when I thought up when I saw that because it was so retarded. As well as a remastered version of the 2020 PS4 adventure, it includes a trio of lost levels, which features playable sequences previously cut from the game, as well as a roguelike survival mode called No Return. That's it. I mean, that's it for the article, but that's also what they just did. Couple playable sequences previously cut from the game and just a survival mode. Does anybody honestly say, man, I'm in a mood to play like a survival game. I'm going to boot up The Last of Us Part 2. Does anyone actually say that? I don't think so. So it's like, why? Why bother? All right, before we get to Star Wars here, this caught my eye from CBR. So, take it with a grain of salt. Toonami Rewind may air more retro anime, according to Adult Swim creative director. So, Toonami, the long running Saturday night action block on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, recently expanded to Friday nights with a lineup of anime classics. According to the co creator of Toonami, the return of Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Naruto could just be the beginning. Oh, geez. Jason DeMarco, the co-creator of Toonami and VP and creative director for on-air content and Adult Swim, revealed how the anime nostalgia block came to be on Blue Sky. And then the Swimpedia account on X captured DeMarco's response. According to DeMarco, the idea of expanding Toonami was Cartoon Network's, as the higher-ups were pleased with the performance of the Saturday night block. I mean, I could have told you that. People like anime when done right. The idea of a throwback theme block to the earlier days of Toonami. Can we just go back to that early days, like in general? Because everything is sucking so bad in today's world. Can we just go back to that? The idea of the throwback theme block to the early days of Toonami was tossed around, to which the Toonami team responded favorably. If Toonami Rewind does well, more classic anime series could be added in the future. Sailor Moon fans will soon be able to transform into pretty guardians themselves in an upcoming re-release of the crystal-themed earring collection. Wait, that I don't give a crap about that. Why say continue reading and then you're giving me this shit? So here's the tweet. So really enjoying the concept of Rewind. How did it come about? If successful, can we expect more put into the block? And then DeMarco said, thank you. It was the network's idea to try a second Toonami block since they were very happy with the performance on the Saturday night version. They wondered if a throwback Toonami would be interesting. We like the idea. And yes, if it does well, we have all kinds of cool plans to bring more shows in. So very cool update from you guys. Apparently Adult Swim action titles are also on the table for the Rewind block. Real chance we might see something like Death Note or Full Metal Alchemist 2003 on the network again one day. So and then it's possible that a past Adult Swim animes like Yu Yu Hakusho awesome show. Could be considered for Toonami Rewind. Although the current idea of Rewind is to air shows from the early years of Toonami, such as Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, DeMarco said the past anime series that aired on the Adult Swim block would also be considered. Before Toonami pivoted to an older audience, Adult Swim Action was the late night action packed block that featured older skewing anime series that couldn't be seen during the day. Cowboy Bebop, good one. Trigun. I like Trigun. I've read the manga. The manga's better because it actually has the appropriate ending. I thought they rushed the anime Trigun, and I haven't seen that new one because I didn't like the art style. Inuyasha, good one, also with the final act. Yu Yu Hakusho and more all premiered on Adult Swim Action with little to no censorship. I will X to doubt on that one, especially if you're showing like Crunchyroll versions and like the dub versions of like Sony Roll and and like your Funimation bastardizing stuff. Like the old Funimation was amazing. The new one, when it was around, sucked. Toonami's Rewind currently airing Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. So Rewind airs every Friday at 5 p.m. with an episode of Sailor Moon, the Viz Media English dub. Ooh. An hour of Dragon Ball Z Kai. That is okay. Dragon Ball Z Kai is not your old school retro Dragon Ball Z. Now, if they're planning to do it in this new one, okay. But if you're airing these old series, why are you not picking the old school Dragon Ball Z? Why are you using Kai? And an episode of the original Naruto series. While these three shows are the clear heavy hitters of Toonami, the Cartoon Network block has also featured anime like Outlaw Star. I actually kind of was recommended to watch. I think I started to and I stopped. The Big O. I heard that one was good. I still need to see that one. Tenchi Muyo, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, as well as the American action cartoons like Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, Samurai Jack, and Megas XLR. I'm not familiar what that one is. The recent expansion of Toonami comes at as the line between Cartoon Network and Adult Swim continue to be blur. Yeah, I mean, I remember the old school Adult Swim promos, their little jingles that they had. Wolf's Rain in Inuyasha, case closed, the Lupin. I remember that. Your anime dreams, making your anime dreams come true. The recent expansion of Toonami comes as a line. Okay, yeah, it's blurging. It's blurring with nostalgic programming aimed at older viewers being aired in the early viewings under the Adult Swim brand. Early impressions of the new look back anime based on the title by Chainsaw Man creator consist. Okay, this is like part of this, and then they have this. Why can't there be a clear distinction between the two? Like, put a bigger gap in there to showcase that this is under the related stuff. Anime series like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and Naruto are also available on streaming services such as Netflix, Hulu, and Crunchyroll. The Saturday night versions of Toonami, featuring new episodes of One Piece, My Adventure with Superman, and more, airs at 12 p.m. And that is pretty much it for that. So if you're a Toonami person, might be seeing more retro anime. X to doubt that they'll truly claim for it to be uncensored. I don't believe that. Test the waters. Show some Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star. What about what was it? Blue Gender? Isn't that the one with all like the bugs and stuff? What about that one? All right. Here we go. The main topic, the main article we have pulled up here. I've seen it. I've seen people comment on it all over X. The Acolyte. To reportedly lose everyone After the third episode, get ready for pronouns in Star Wars. Now, I'm sure some people had like watched that clip from someone where they're, I think it's her, where they're talking about like, oh, Star Wars was like always gay or some bullshit like that. Like the ham fisting of their debauchery is amazing and retarded because it was never about that to begin with. This is the gayest Star Wars yet. Oh no. Oh no. Like, nah, not even close. Like, we'll just get into it. I was thinking about something, but I shall hold my tongue for now. According to a new report, while the two-part premiere of Leslie headlines The Acolyte will come across as, quote, inoffensive to longtime Star Wars fans, the series' third episode will lose everyone thanks to some truly abysmal creative decisions. So, word of the Acolyte's forthcoming shark jumping was first raised to the public courtesy of noted film critic and film threat founder Chris Gore during a June 4th appearance on the Geeks and Gamers new news outlets daily live stream. Wouldn't it be a stream if I found like a spelling error or a grammatical error? And again, I am by no means like the best grammatical, like, you know, proofreader. Oh gosh, just look at that. Ugh. I mean, that's the video there if you want to watch it. This is from Bounding into Comics, by the way. In light of his having previewed the series' first 4 episodes, Gore was pressed by his fellow panelist, G&G founder Jeremy Griggs, and noted YouTube personalities Ryan Kindle and The Critical Drinker, if he could offer any insight as to just what viewers could expect from the series. In turn, he unfortunately asserted, these first 2 episodes are pretty basic. They get you into the story and the world. Episode 3, I'm warning you now, it is going to completely lose everyone. They completely redefined what the Force is. Oh gosh, how do you just mess that up? Well, I mean, it's intentional. Let's be clear. They didn't mess it up. They're purposely redefining it. Detail Gore. You're going to see 2 mothers conceive twins. Because it's Star Wars. It's futuristic. They have the technology to do that. A bunch of witches it is basically the Jedi turned into cops and child protective services. It's like the CPS of the galaxy. Oh my gosh. So the Jedis are the bad guys. Haven't some people declared like the Jedis are actually the real bad guys and the Sith like are actually like what they talk about a lot is true? I mean, maybe when Lucas, like in the beginning, probably had it set straight, but now it's just gone completely haywire. Once again, reiterating, okay, episode 1 and 2, whatever, it's fine. The critic then revealed, but 3 and 4 get ready for pronouns in Star Wars. It's happening, he added. I'm literally considering having a funeral for Star Wars. Oh no. Literally, get everyone to dress up, wear dark glasses, give eulogies, play organ church music in the background because after episode 3 of The Acolyte, it will cause a lot of discussion. Oh no. Continuing in his criticism of the series, Gore opined, aside from the fact that the show is cheap looking, I mean, yeah, they're getting like how cheap looking are we talking about? Like She-Hulk cheap looking? That was bad. That one's bad. For all the money they spent, it looks cheap. The exterior scenes and forest looking shots on a soundstage. It looks very, very obvious. It lacks male energy. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be like that. I don't think any straight man should be in charge of a woman's cosmetic brand. Wait, is this him? Is this Gore still? I don't think any straight man should be in charge of a woman's cosmetic brand or a woman's fashion brand. And by that same idea, I think that the women who put together the show cannot make Star Wars for the audience that has loved it for years. Oh, it is him. Ouch. He laminated, is just devoid of everything you used to love, not even shreds. To this end, later in the show, Gore would further note that the white guys in the show are all sidelined and weak. Of course they are, because they say that we hate women. Well, these people hate men. So let's be real here. I would say beyond just males. I think a lot of these people actually hate humanity, and they just project that onto other people. Man, I am shaking in my boots. Prepares to defend herself from Soul in the Acolyte. This is May. So turning back to the Acolyte's third episode, Gore then warned that third episode, it changes the world. It'll change things forever. And I don't think anyone's going to like it. We'll get a lot of lesbian space, he concluded. Yes. Yes, because there wasn't enough lesbian scenes in the OG, because that's what the story was all about. So then we got to justify that by just have a planet of lesbians. I don't know how they would populate. But again, technology and futuristic, so they can figure something out. He concluded, that'll be great. Lesbian witches that conceive children. So get ready for episode 3. The first 2 nights. Wait. So if they're literally witches, are they conceiving by literally using magic? Or like the Force can just, become the Holy Spirit and just make someone pregnant. I mean, don't even compare the two, because, one is like actually legit, the Holy Spirit. The other one's just a concept. The first 2 nights are going to be like whatever. It's a police procedural with a murder, and all of it, none of it makes sense. Ugh. For those curious or sadistic enough to subject themselves to yet another Disney Star Wars production, The Acolyte's first 2 episodes are now streaming on Disney Plus. I'm sure you could actually go yo-ho it, because don't give Disney Plus your money. You do what you want. I don't care what you do. I'm not giving them my money. Meanwhile, the series' allegedly a disastrous third episode is currently set to air on June 11th. That would be next Tuesday, I believe. Tis indeed next Tuesday. I also like reading the comments. Lol, crash and burn, well deserved. This is why I canceled Hulu. At this point, Disney is just running a money laundering scheme, not even trying to hide it. I think that's actually like very, very true. They don't care about what they make. They don't care about making a profit. It's all a scam. Yeah, I agree to that to an extent. So there you go. Does not sound good. With the Acolyte, and I'm sure we've all seen the photos of the fire in space. Let's see. Star Wars The Acolyte, fire in space. I'm just seeing if there's like any other like articles. Ooh, here's one with Screen Rant talking about 12 hours ago. Here, we'll pull this one up because it sounds like they're like trying to like, "Ooh, you're missing the point of it." Oh wait, that's not the. I mean, that's my Brave search, but no, click into there, you garbage thing. There you go. All right. Fire in space? The Acolyte's strangest criticism totally misses the point of Star Wars. All right, here we go. I'm by no means a Star Wars expert, but I want to hear what they have to say, because I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Star Wars audience are in an uproar about Star Wars The Acolyte showing a ship catching fire in space, but that backlash ignores the very nature of the galaxy far, far away. The Acolyte received, had its 2 premieres, already received plenty of criticism and praise. Yeah, the Disney simps are praising it. Like actual Star Wars fans are probably not. However, not all the criticism is constructive. I mean, that's what criticism is there, Screen Rat. Yes, not all criticism is constructive, nor does all of it take into account the long history of Star Wars playing fast and loose with the laws of physics. Here we go. Teach me, Screen Rant. Teach me what I don't know about Star Wars, because I trust you. So in the first episode, OSHA, like as in meeting OSHA standards. They haven't meeting the standards at all. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so the Acolyte's rogue Padawan is working on a ship when it catches fire. Wait, just randomly like catches fire? Like nothing caused it to like catch fire or explode. Viewers have since taken to social media to point out that it isn't physically possible. Fire, which requires oxygen, can happen in space. So here we
And that was the pressure valve. I got it.
Their helmet screens look weird too. Oh no, fire trigger flashback. Wait, we don't even.
And that was the pressure valve.
So the pressure went off and it caused a fire? What? Fire in space with the sound of a campfire in space. This is the new Star Wars series.
And that was the pressure valve. I got it.
You can't have fire in space. Okay. So, however, these responses overlook George Lucas's intention for Star Wars and the innumerable examples of Star Wars choose to ignore real life physics. Star Wars has never cared for much for real world physics. The pushback against the Acolyte shows a fire in space would be understandable if Star Wars had ever followed the rules of real life science, but it hasn't. From the very beginning, George Lucas wanted Star Wars to feel like fantasy. In fact, that's why he referred to it as a sci-fi fan. Dude, is this going to be the only like is this really going to be one of their main points? It's fantasy. It's fantasy. No fucking shit. Like, no shit, it's fantasy. I have a rebuttal for this, though. So that's why he referred to it as a science fantasy rather than science fiction. It's also in part what is conveyed by the tag having always been a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Dude, what a pull out of the ass. The most like one of the most iconic lines ever seen in a movie. And you're trying to use that to justify on how fire can exist in this space. Oh my gosh. From the very beginning, George Lucas wanted Star Wars to feel like fantasy. That's fine. Again, I have a rebuttal for this. Even beyond that, there are plenty of examples dating back to the original trilogy that prove Star Wars' focus isn't on producing factual or scientific representation of space. Since A New Hope, Star Wars has broken the rules of physics, including by having sound in space. We're not talking about sound. We're talking about fire. But yeah, I can see them trying to make that argument. Arguably, this is part of what makes Star Wars so beloved. The sound of TIE fighters zipping through space, or the incredible sound effect following the Holdo maneuvers in Star Wars: The Last Jedi, makes Star Wars much more enjoyable to watch. Are you really trying to use sound to explain why there's fire in space? Obviously, the idea of the sound is to show us, the audience, like give us more dramatic effect and stuff like that. Like, yeah. Again, aside from this, okay, this is pretty much my rebuttal. My point is some people have said, well, yeah, there's been fire in space, and they'll show like the picture of the Death Star exploding. That's more sparks than fire. And if they're probably like we even see it with Vader when he stops Han Solo's blaster shots. Like it's sparking. It's not fire. Anyway, um but as far as I remember, any type of explosions that are happening in Star Wars, it's more like of a spark type explosion as opposed to literally a burning fire like a campfire. But again, it's been a while. But that's how I thought of it. So Lucas desperately wanted to avoid just this kind of debate. All right, the very line of thought currently being used to criticize the Acolyte is also precisely what George Lucas wanted to avoid in Star Wars. In fact, although George Lucas didn't create the name lightsaber, the decision to transition from the term laser sword to lightsaber makes clear that Lucas didn't want arguments about factual science to affect Star Wars. Essentially, he didn't want to waste time explaining how it worked. That isn't what the franchise is for. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, it's not a long article. Thank goodness. This very line of thought currently being used to criticize the Acolyte is also precisely what George Lucas wanted to avoid. Do they have like any actual quotes by George Lucas? Because they probably should. Part of watching Star Wars requires the suspense of disbelief. No one, it's not based on true science. No one is saying that it's based on true science. Again, so much of the franchise wouldn't be. And anyway, watching the exception. Yes, Star Wars Acolyte showed a ship catching on fire because Star Wars isn't meant to mirror real life. Let's do this real quick. I mean, I learned nothing from Screen Rant. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty much all I have for today. Let's do this. Death Star exploding. Do. And then we'll show this here real quick. So here's the OG Death Star exploding. Okay, so they're flying away. Dear Lord, that's a long delay. It's a special edition, apparently. Boom. Okay. Again, are you guys seeing something here? Are you seeing actual campfire burning like that? No. You are seeing. Look how much that sucks in, by the way, too. Like, you can make the argument the orange is a fire, but that's an explosion. But again, look at my point. Look at all the sparks that are happening. You're not seeing a burning flame flickering in space. In fact, I would say the argument that when it explodes, it immediately sucks back in. Showcasing that maybe there is a hint, a little reality in there that, yeah, fire wouldn't last long in space. This, oh, dang it, I closed the article. The one where it's literally showing just the fire flickering and stuff, that's just like sitting there for like a couple minutes. And then apparently she has like a flashback or something of, her obviously terrible trauma childhood or something like that. But that's my point right there. I see more sparks in that explosion. And again, it's been a while since I've seen a lot of them. But anytime there's like some sort of fire involved or something like that, it's like a melted. Like when someone gets hit with the lightsaber, their wounds get cauterized. I guess in the original there was actual blood, but that's beside the point. But huge difference between, like a campfire type of burning flame to an explosion that immediately, and you just have sparks left. That's how I see it. Take that as you will. That is pretty much the end. That is pretty much the end of the show. So thanks again for everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube and Rumble, or check out my content there and subscribe then. And thanks for hanging out with me on X. If you are on X, you can also check out my link tree in the description and give a follow. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll continue hopefully for some gaming tomorrow. We'll see if I'll try to start up some Onimusha 3. Again, we're starting up that, or maybe a new game. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hope you guys enjoyed my rambling and my terrible reading. But again, make sure to like and subscribe. We were on Rumble, and we were on YouTube, and we were on X. And of course, you can find my other social medias in the description or link tree. And if you want to help support the channel beyond that, you can always check out the membership and subscription tiers and locals. But yeah, the Acolyte sound is apparently very, very
gay,
and not in a good way too, because they're more of like,
and this guy must be a fag.
They're that. So there you go. I will end you at that. I mean, I guess in the end, Disney Star Wars.
Go f yourself.
There you go. All right. And with that wonderful, colorful language, you guys have a good night. Take care. God bless. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. Take care.